Sometime Oki here this morning, and well, almost afternoon, and we're going to be reading out of the Gospel of Matthew again today. Picking back up on that. Actually, that light's going. It's a little better. Okay, so hi. So, we have been reading in Matthew, and I believe we're at chapter 24 now, and we're going to read 24 through 28, and this is going to be the end part where Jesus is crucified and raises from the dead. We're going to go through the whole, it'll be the whole story with the Jews and Pilate and everything. And we're going to hear all of these stories multiple times, going through all of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The stories will be told differently, and not that what happened was different, but they'll be explained differently. Some of the disciples were more emotional. Some of them like to describe things more in detail. But the story is still the same. The events are still the same. Anyway. Matthew. Yeah, I believe... No, actually, we have to read 23. We didn't get to 23 last time. I'm looking back, and we ended where... And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. And that's whenever everyone just kind of was like, all right, we're the Pharisees and all them were like, we're done. Because he kept catching them in their baloney, basically. So, Matthew chapter 23. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. So follow the law. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So, hi. So, they're all lip service. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries, and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues. And greetings in the markets, and to be called of men Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither you be called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Hi. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For you neither go in yourselves, neither suffer you them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, for you devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore you shall receive the greater damnation. I'm going to pause for just 1 second. Which verse? If you're still here. I am. I'm reading in chapter 23 of the book of Matthew. You are more than welcome to check out my page at any time. I'm going through the Gospels and we're on chapter 23, but you can check out the other parts. Yes, no Father but in heaven. Yes. No Father but which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. God sent Christ. Okay. So, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, for you compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, you blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. You fool and blind guides, for whether is greater the gold or the temple that sanctifies the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing. But whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. You are fools and blind, for whether is greater the gift or the altar that sanctifies the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple swears by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that shall swear by heaven swears by the throne of God, and by him that sits thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law: judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought you to have done, and not to leave the other undone. They're worried more about money and works and people seeing them than following the rules and what matters. You blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, for you make clean the outside of the cup of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, for you are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanliness. Even so, you also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, because you build tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore you be witnesses unto yourself that you are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill you up then the measure of your fathers. You serpents, you generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them you shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall be scourged in your synagogues, and prosecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias son of Barachias, whom you slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stones them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. Behold, for I say unto you, you shall not see me henceforth, till you shall say, Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. That was very deep. That was really good. In this entire chapter 23 of Matthew, Jesus calls out the Pharisees completely. And he holds them accountable. And not only does he hold them accountable, and he shows them their flaws, and he tells them, you don't even look within. You say you wouldn't have done these things, it would have been in the time of your fathers, but you're in a time now when you are blind. You would have done the same things, and you are the children of those people. But he also, in all of this, he also shows how much love and care he still has for his people. And he talks about how he wished he could take them like a mother hen to her chicks under his wing. But they wouldn't have it. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for being here. So we're going to go on to chapter 24. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See you not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceives you. This is important. These are rules not just for the disciples to follow, but for us to follow as well. Let no man deceive you. That's any man. That's any man anywhere of any stature, power, money, title. It could be religious. It could anybody. You need to test people with their fruits and with the book. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. I try to remind people about this now. We have had wars, and we have rumors of wars and things going on. And we don't need to be troubled because it is part of God's plan. He's very well aware of what is going on. He's not surprised or fooled. And these things must happen so that his plan can be fulfilled. So, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated for all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate each other. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. This one is extremely important, and I'm going to stay heavy on this one right now because there is a slew of people on here, on YouTube, I'm sure on other platforms that claim to be prophets. And they tell you that they're getting messages from God and they're talking to God and God is telling them this and you need to know that. Test all of these people and everything that they're saying with their fruits and with the word. Test them. They also won't charge you money. And because iniquity shall abound, and love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this gospel of the kingdom must be preached in all of the world as a witness unto all nations before the end comes. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, that give birth in those days. But pray you that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall ever be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay, I'm going to pause. You want about the false Messiah? When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. For those of you who are new here or who are just joining me or interested, once I finish Matthew, I'm going to go back and read Matthew chapters 24 on, and with the book of Revelation and Daniel as well. We're going to get more in depth in this. Okay. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it or not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and they shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will be the eagles gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in the heavens, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is near. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass until all these things are fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall not pass away, but my words, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no angel in heaven, but the Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Thank you, Charlie. Hi, you're from South Carolina. Glad you're here, brother. You too, Justin. Thank you, brother, for being here. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. One shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord does come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man will come. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him a ruler over his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in the hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Many will be called, and few will be chosen. So, it says that he is going to return at a time when no one knows or is ready or prepared. Because, like the parable says, if you know when someone's going to break into your house, you're going to be here and ready. And just like the other parable talked about, his servant went and was drinking and eating and being drunk, and his Lord waited when he wasn't ready. So that's just a reminder that we always need to be ready. We always need to be ready. Heart to Jesus all the time. Search me. Forgive me. But your belief in your relationship with him is what really matters. It's not going to church every Sunday or Wednesday. It's not being in a group doing a Bible study all the time. It's not any of those things that people want to make you believe is a requirement. So anyway, we're going to keep going on here. That was Matthew chapter 24. We're going to go on to 25. Yeah, Justin, before I go on to 25 here, I'm going to chat with you for a second while I got you here. I think that you're absolutely right. I think that this is going to happen more sooner than later. I think that we are, as it says, in the birth pains. I think that the rapture could happen at any time. And we have a lot of signs, not just historically, but also presently and celestially, at least for the last for the last 14 years that I've been following that. So there's a lot of things that have come to fruition that is in scripture that I can't disprove. So I agree with you. Yes, the real church of Jesus lives inside each and every one of us, not in a building. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. If you enjoy this or any of it, I really hope that you check out my content. Just go out. I do mainly lives. Just so that I can have this interaction with people. That makes it way more personal. I like talking to and answering questions with people. So definitely get on my page and check out my lives, and you can follow along through the book of Matthew if you want to. And then, like I mentioned earlier, after that, we're going to go through Matthew, Revelation, Daniel, and a couple other books together. And we'll do the same thing with Mark, Luke, and John. So, chapter 25. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. This is one of my favorites. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go you rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. Go get hurry up, run and go grab you some oil. We can't give you ours. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. We're here. We're ready now. We got the oil in our lamps now. We're ready. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man comes. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered them unto his goods. I want to pause right here for a minute. I just want to pause right here for just a second, because this is very important to me. And it should be important to you too, I hope. What is it, the second or the third time now? It says, Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man comes. Okay? To me, and this is just my opinion here, but to me, and because it's repeated quite a bit in here, we're going to hear it again. People that are on here that are saying they know when the rapture is going to be, and this is the day, and all this other stuff, they don't know the day. They do not know the day or the hour. I'm not saying they can't get close. I'm not saying that we don't know the season. We follow by the signs, facts. But we won't know the day. Because if we know the day, then that completely takes away and discredits everything that Jesus just said about the thief coming into the house. It's discrediting everything about these women right here waiting for the bridegroom. We're not going to know the day or the hour, but we will know the season. And because we will know the season and we will have the signs, that is our warning to us to get ready, be ready, stay ready. That's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, it's one of my favorite parables, for sure. Thanks for being a subscriber. Um, let's see here. Okay, so, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that received 1 went and dug in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants came and reckoned with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. And his Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee a ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. And his Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make you a ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and hid the talent into the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. That was a lot of words. So he said, I was afraid and went and hid my money. Here is what was mine. Here's what's mine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed. You ought therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So this is foreshadowing the rapture, the coming of Christ. This is foreshadowing the rapture. And it mentions this a lot. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And it's going to be something that we talk about later. But there are going to be a lot of people left behind that are not going to understand why. And some that will. And people that heard the word and they heard everything and chose not to believe it. And it's going to kind of be a big reality check. And there's going to be people upset and crying and angry at God. And it's going to be a very sad time. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, and the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come you, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to see me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave you drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we the sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you have done this unto one of the least of my brothers, you have done it to me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't take me in. I was naked, you gave me no clothes, sick and in prison, and you visited me not once. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee and hungered, or thirsted, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it not to one of the least of these, you did not do it for me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Yeah. I'm really glad you're here, Justin. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around. So, we have chapter 26, which is very long, chapter 27, and then chapter 28, and we're done. And 27 and 28 are, I'm going to say 27 is about average, and 28 is very short, but 26 is long. So, I'm going to take a short break here and give my throat a minute, have some coffee, and then I'll jump back in. I'm really excited. I'm really glad you're here. You guys on the lives really keep me going in all your positivity and everything. So, okay, chapter 26. And it came to pass, when Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said to his disciples, You know that after 2 days is the feast of Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas. Very true. And consulted that they might take Jesus by subtlety and kill him. So they're gonna go, they want to just subtly grab him and kill him. But they said, Not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head, and he sat at meat. He sat and ate. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? So they're asking this woman, well, this is like some expensive oil. Why are you wasting it? You're just pouring it all over him. For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. We could have used this for making some money. I'm glad. I hope you have a good day at work. So when Jesus understood it, he said to them, why trouble you this woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For you have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also be this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her. Hi from Mumbai. I am in Oklahoma in the United States. I am so glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went into the chief of priests and said to them, what will you give me, and I will deliver him to you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him. So from the time he received those 30 pieces of silver, he is just looking for the opportunity. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? And he said, go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, the Master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. And the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when the evening had come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it me? Am I the one that will betray you? And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. So he's saying it would have been better for Judas Iscariot to have not been born than to have betrayed him. Hey, North Carolina. I didn't know you were in North Carolina. Hi. That's awesome. Oh. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it me? Is it I? And he said to him, thou hast said. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink you all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. And when they had sung a hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. Then said Jesus unto them, All you shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Hi, Vicky. Glad you're here. I hope you stick around. Let me know where you're from down in the comments. Peter answered and said unto him, Though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. So I'm never going to be offended. And Jesus said to him, Verily I say unto you, that this night, before the rooster crows, you shall deny me 3 times. And Peter said to him, Though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples. So they all said, I'll die before I deny you. Then came Jesus with them unto a place called Gethsemane. Sorry, my mouth's getting a little dry. And saith unto the disciples, Sit here while I go and pray. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. So stay with me, tarry with me. He's sorrowful. And he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. He's scared. Maybe. It's a big cup. It's a big pill to swallow. He has a lot on his shoulders. He's saving all of humanity. And he has to endure through everything that's going to come. And he's not being selfish. He's saying, not in my will, but in yours. Like, if it's in your will to stop it, then if you can take this from me, and if not, then, I'm all in. This is what I'm doing if this is what you want. And he cometh unto the disciples, and found them asleep, and said unto Peter, What, could you not watch with me an hour? You couldn't even stay awake with me an hour? Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. I know you want to stay up, and your bodies are telling you that you're tired. You can do it. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed a 3rd time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples and saith unto them, Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. So, Judas is coming. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people. So they're out here praying. And then here comes Judas Iscariot with, it says a great multitude, a whole bunch of soldiers, guards with swords to come get little old Jesus. A little overkill. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he. Hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Jesus and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Jesus said to him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Jesus and took him. those cards. And behold, one of them which were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword, and struck his servant of the high priest, and smote off his ear. You'll never guess which disciple that was. Then said Jesus to him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish by it. Thinkest thou that I cannot pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that thus it must be? So he's basically saying, I don't need you. You need to put your sword up. You don't need to do that. God would give me more than 12 legions of angels to protect me. In that same hour said Jesus to the multitudes, Are you come out as against a thief with swords and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you, teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Yeah, we should all be so faithful. Then all the disciples forsook him, fled. So Jesus is taken and his disciples scattered, just like he said would happen. And they that laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar, off into the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. So Peter followed him because he wanted to see what was going to happen. Now the chief priests and elders of all the councils sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death. So they lied on him, lied about him. But found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. And the last came 2 false witnesses. They said, This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? You don't have no answer? You say nothing? What is it which these witnesses against thee? But Jesus held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God, that thou tell us whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God. And so Jesus wrote to you, Hereafter shall you see the Son of Man, sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now you have heard this blasphemy. What do you think? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him. And others smote him with the palms of their hands, saying, Prophesy unto us, thou Christ, who is he that smote thee? Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also was with Jesus of Galilee. You're one of the guys that was with Jesus. And he denied before them all, saying, I know not who you're talking about. I don't know that man. And when he was gone out onto the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth. This is one of his guys. And he again denied with an oath, I do not know the man. And after a while came unto him they that stood by, and said to Peter, Surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately after that, the rooster crowed. So he got so upset about them recognizing him or how he was speaking. he started cursing and swearing, saying that he didn't know him. And Peter remembered the word of Jesus, which said unto him, Before the rooster crows, you shall deny me 3 times. And he went out and he wept bitterly. I would too. I would too. To be so disappointed in yourself and how you hurt the person you love the absolute most, and what they said happened. I bet he was big sad, big depressed, big disappointed. A lot of conviction right there. I think people forget that the disciples were very human. They were very human. And even throughout their walk with Jesus and their fellowship with Jesus, they still asked him. They still had their doubts. They were witnessing miracles, and if you put yourself in their position, it's almost unreal. Unreal things were happening in front of people. Whew, so that was chapter 26. We only got 2 more left, guys. That's cool. Thanks for being here, everybody, and thanks for sticking around. Chapter 27. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him unto Pontius Pilate, the governor. He's a very important person in this story. And metaphorically, we are currently mirroring some of the story today. Believe that or not. So, then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priest and elders, saying, I have sinned, and that I have betrayed innocent blood. So he took those 30 pieces of silver, and he went back to the chief priests and the elders, and he said, take it back. I don't want it. I don't want this 30 pieces of silver. What I did was wrong. I have sinned against this man. He is innocent. And they said, what is that to us? Take it and go. It's too late. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed. He threw the money down on the floor and he left, and he hung himself. And the chief... I'm going to pause there for a minute. We're going to talk about conviction. He was so convicted. He alone was the man who betrayed Jesus, who went and got the guards, took a measly 30 pieces of silver to betray the man who saved the world. That's heavy. So, and the chief priests took the silver pieces, not lawful for to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. It's blood money, and we can't use it in the church. And they took counsel and bought with him the potter's field to bury strangers in. They bought a graveyard with it, basically. Wherefore that field was called the field of blood unto this day. So that field today still stands and was purchased for the 30 pieces of silver that was given to Judas Iscariot for turning in Jesus. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord appointed me. And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the King of the Jews? And Jesus said unto him, Thou sayest. That's what you say. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, Hearest thou not how many things the witnesses against thee? Have you not heard all the things these witnesses have said against you? And he answered him he didn't say a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at that feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would choose. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. That is important. Pilate knew that the chief priests and these people delivered him out of envy. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. She had a dream about Jesus. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus. So the chief priests and the elders are persuading all the people, all the multitude, hey, take Barabbas. Jesus needs to be crucified. He's a blasphemer. So the governor answered and said unto them, Whether of the twain, which of the two, will you that I release unto you? And they said, Barabbas. And Pilate saith unto them, What shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ? And they also said unto him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, Why, what evil hath he done? But they cried out the more, saying, Let him be crucified. They don't care. They don't care what the reasoning is. They have been persuaded, and they want this man hung on a cross for everyone to see. And when Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed it before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. So you see it. So Pilate tried to help Jesus, and he tried to free Jesus. He was a man in power, but he was also afraid. And he washed his hands of it, and he turned a blind eye to it. And it happened anyway. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be on us and our children. So they cursed themselves. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him and put him in a scarlet robe, like a king. And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And they spit upon him and took the reed and smote him on the head. And after that they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to be crucified. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We can all be doing this. You can do this too. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they were come unto a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. And they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. And sitting down, they watched him there, and set up over his head his accusation written, This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Then were there two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and one on the left. And they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads, and saying, Thou that destroyest the temple and buildest it in 3 days, save yourself. If you're the Son of God, come down from that cross. Likewise, also the chief priests mocked him with the scribes and elders and said, He saved others, but he can't save himself. If he was the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God, let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God. So these people are saying this isn't the Son of God. Because if it was, he wouldn't let this happen to him. So if you really are, then show it. Get down from that cross. Show us that you're the Son of God, because he's going to save you. The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land unto the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour, he cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why have you forsaken me? Some of them that stood there when they heard that said, This man calls for Elias. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar, and put it on a reed and gave it to him to drink. The rest said, Let be, let us see whether Elias will come to save him. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. He gave up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. So the veil of the temple was torn from top to bottom. It was a big wall, and the veil covered it, and it was torn from top to bottom by the hand of God. There wasn't, that's it. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now when the centurion and they that were with him watching Jesus saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the Son of God. And many women were there, beholding afar off, which followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him. Among which was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. When the evening had come, there came a rich man of Arimathea named Joseph, who also himself was Jesus' disciple. He went to Pilate and begged for the body of Jesus. So Pilate commanded the body be delivered to him. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out in a rock, and he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre, and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the sepulchre. Now, the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said while he was yet alive, After 3 days I will rise again. Command therefore that the sepulchre be made sure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say unto the people, He is risen from the dead. So the last error shall be worse than the first. And Pilate said unto them, You have a watch, go your way, and make it as sure as you can. So they went and made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch. They had guards outside of the tomb to make sure that nobody broke in and took Jesus's body and was like, oh, look, the grave's empty. He came back to life, blah, blah, blah. But also, I think maybe to make sure that he didn't come out of the grave. Just saying. We only got one more chapter left. It's very short. Oh, it's just in time. Now your name's not Justin. Sorry. I will check out your channel. That's really cool. I didn't know that. I'll check out your channel. Yeah. Do I know why he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Oh, it is Justin. That's cool. So I can't scripturally tell you. I'd have to read. And I'm in my mind is focused in Matthew right now. I want to say that God turned away. When Jesus died on the cross, he took all of humanity's sin, which puts you the furthest you can get away from God. And I think that's what it is. I believe that's what it is to be. Thank you for sticking around and staying in my comments. I appreciate that. You're more than welcome to comment on anything. I'll send you my email. So, chapter 28. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. That would have been really cool to have seen. This angel coming down from heaven and you're just moving the stone out of the way, just gonna sit here. This is my job to do today. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment was white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men. So I'm going to assume that they became as dead men. They died of fright. They passed out, something, but whoa, what's the angel? And they always say, hey, don't be afraid. It scared them and shocked. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not. Here it is. Fear not. For I know that you seek Jesus, which was crucified. But he's not here. He is risen. And he said, Come, see the place where the Lord lays. And go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall you see him. I have told you, go. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy. They're scared, but they're excited. Could this be real? Is he really here? Oh my gosh, he's risen from the dead. We gotta go find him. Ah! So, So they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, All hail! And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then Jesus said unto them, Be not afraid. Go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. Now when they were going, behold, some of the watch came into the city, and showed unto the chief priests all the things that were done. And when they were assembled with the elders, and had taken counsel, they gave large money unto the soldiers, saying, His disciples came by night. Go tell them, go say, his disciples came by night and stole him away while he slept. Well, he's dead. So the soldiers go and they go tell the chief priest, like, you're never going to believe this. So that man really was the Son of God. Turns out he rose up from the dead, and I saw an angel. And their reply was, no, you didn't. None of that happened. You're going to go tell them that the disciples came by night and they took his body. That's what you're going to go say. And if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you. So you ain't got anything to worry about. We got your back. So they took the money and did as they were told. And this saying is commonly reported among the Jews until this day. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Jesus had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. That's it for Matthew, guys. We just finished it up. Yay! That was long. Oh my goodness, that was so long. So good, though. And like I said, the disciples tell Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So each one of those disciples tell the story differently. They describe events differently. Some are more detailed, some are more emotional, and some are just kind of like, this is what it was, without going into too much detail. But nothing changes as far as the story goes. All things still happen, but some of them are described or told more emotionally or more descriptively. So, yeah. Well, that was it for Matthew. I believe this is part 6 now. Next video will be kind of a end times thing, sort of. We're going to go through Revelation and Matthew, Daniel, Ezekiel. We got Lamentations. We've got, I got a fold in my book. Right at Noah. There's quite a few books we're going to go into, and I'm going to give you guys some end times signs from historically past to present day, from what's happened on the earth to what has happened in the sky and what is going on around Israel and that whole area. And as always, fact check me. Look it up. Don't believe everything you see and hear. Test people's fruits with the word, including mine. And as always, this information is free. It's free knowledge. You can look it up yourself. You can read yourself. I just make it more convenient by doing it for you and talking to you about it. I will never ask you for money. I will have a private membership where you get to see certain content because you pay money. There is no price for the information that leads to your salvation, period. So, as always, I love you guys. To my subscribers who have been here, thank you. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you all so very much. You guys keep me going quite a bit, and I love the communication and engagement. And for anyone that is new or just passing through, I'm really glad you're here. Feel free to check out my channel. If it's something that you feel drawn to, hey, hit the subscribe button and I'll hang out with you once or twice a week. But anyways, you guys stay blessed. Thank you. And until next time, guys. Bye.